So once you've got the folder opened, we want to change this. I think it'll be like a blue E on yours. We need to change that to Google Chrome. So we're going to right click, go down to open with, which will probably be about 5 down on your machine. Okay, and then we're going to go to choose another app. On this one then we're going to tick that box there, and then probably around here for you will be Google Chrome. You need to double click Google Chrome and that will then open up the website for you. Okay, so we've got our first page here. So first thing that you need to do is put your headphones on and watch this video, which will kind of explain the story behind this task. So if you pause this video and then go and do that, so you can watch that and then come back. Okay, so if you've done that, then you get an idea maybe of the story. So next thing we're going to do is go back to our folder and make sure that this is in your drive. If it's in the public area, you won't be able to save, so make sure you've copied it to your drive before you do anything else. Okay, so now we've got our PowerPoint. So the first thing we're going to do here is choose our team. So we're going to go to Origins, and we've got the two teams here. Now we don't want to be hovering over them, so move to one side. On your keyboard up near F12, press the print screen button, go back into your PowerPoint and Control V to paste that in. If you need to just click this minus a couple of times to zoom out so you can see these corners, and then right click and crop. So we're going to crop around whichever team we've decided to choose. Okay. There are two versions of this PowerPoint. If you're using the one with the writing on, then you just need to make that slightly big enough so that it covers up the writing. Okay. If you're not, then you can always go and have a look at the updated one in the public drive that's just got a little bit of help there as well. Okay, so our next one then, we need to create our characters. So we're going to go back to the website. Whichever team you chose then, we're going to click on them there. If you need help with what I've just shown you, the cropping, there's a help video at the bottom of this page as well. So in fact, pause the video, go and do that, then come back again. So now on to creating our character. So we click one of these, so you can watch this video here so that you get the story each time. If your video pauses, leave it for a minute or so. If it's still not working, then go back to the home page, come back again, and then try again and just fast forward the video. So within these then we've got our different characters and so on, so you can pick whichever one you want from these. To do that, we right click and we copy the image. Okay, then we're going to go back into our PowerPoint, we're going to do Control V and just put that up to the top corner. Next then we need to come up with some abilities, so put your own real name in there, leave the character name for now, and the abilities. You can make these up, or we can scroll right down to the bottom and there's a list of different abilities that might give you some ideas there, so you can use those. Next thing then, you need a weakness for your character, because without that the stories would be quite boring. So I'd suggest for that, go on Google or get your planner out, find a periodic table or type in table of elements into Google, and you want maybe one of the metals from somewhere around the middle of the table. Okay. Once you've got your abilities, that will help you then come up with a character name. So we go back there, down here there's a list of words that you can put together, so you could sort of pick one from there and one from there. That would give you a name, you know, one from here, one from there, and so on, just to come up with your character name each time. Once you've got your character, make sure you save. Okay, and at this point stop the video, get all of that done. Okay, so if you've got your character done, next we're going to go on to Origins 2. So you're going to click here and you're just going to write a short story about how your character got their abilities. So 2 or 3 paragraphs, it shouldn't be particularly big. Okay, you know, we're working in quite a big font, and just come up with some sort of story of how they did this. You know, maybe they're going to the park one day and something, you know, some radioactive space blob fell out of the sky, something like that, yeah, and then explain, you know, what happened then when they woke up and how they started to develop their powers. Again, when you've done that, save. Okay, pause the video, make sure that you are up to date before you go on to the next part. Alright, so our next section then is the team logo. So what we need to do is go back to the website, we click on logo, whichever team you chose, we click them, we can watch the video just to say what the next part of the story is, here's some of the instructions. Okay, now there's a help file there. Okay, and then there's some examples here. Don't use the examples for your work, but you can, try to copy them as best you can in Page Plus, something like that. Okay, so all you're going to do at this point then is load up Serif Page Plus, and you're going to then create your logo there. Now, I'm not going to create a full logo now on this video, but just to give you an example of what we might do if we took the polygon tool. So we might use something like that. Don't forget about the nodes on top lock, which will let you change this into different shapes, and we can flip around and so on. Okay, so it did say on the instructions you've got to have the name of the organization, and remember, from logos we don't use thin fonts like Times New Roman, so we want something a little bit thicker there, and then you need the name of your team. So if we want our writing centered, use the alignment tools up here. Again, come up with something that's a little bit thicker. Okay, and then I'm just going to sort of make that a light blue colour. So it's not the greatest logo, but just to give an example. Right, so what you do with this then now, first of all, make sure it's saved into your drive. Control A will select everything. Control C will copy it back into PowerPoint and paste your logo in here. Okay, and then you can just resize a little bit so that it fits just nicely on that slide. Okay. Again, save it, but leave Page Plus open. Okay, because when you come to the next task, the ID badge, you're also going to need that. Okay. So the best thing to do with that really is move your logo over there, and then for your ID badge you're going to then need about something about that size. Okay, so it's not absolutely huge. Yeah, and then what you can do is, if we draw a box over your logo, we can resize it a little bit, and that will then go on your ID badge. So we click the ID badge and pick a background color. If you need to, you can right click, arrange, bring to front, center back, whichever. So our background's behind there. You'd get a picture of your character, which you've already got, crop it, and so on. Okay, and all the instructions for that are on the identity card. Watch the video again. Okay, check what's needed there. Yeah, watch the video here, and there's some examples here. Also says you might want to add a QR code. So if you go on to Google, and if you search for QR code maker, so any of these would do really. Okay, let's try the QR code generator there. Okay, and I'd just go then to free text. Okay, so what did I call mine before? Was it Ice Team or something like that? Yeah, and that's what that will then say as a QR code. Again, use your print screen button. Don't try to copy and paste into Serif Page Plus. You paste it in, and then we just use the crop tool over here. Look. And there we go. Okay, and then just keep working your way through the different tasks here if you do get any further.